Hello, everybody. I'm John Locke, and I'd like to welcome you to the LockeInYourSuccess.com Trading Performance Podcast, where it's all about real traders, real problems, and real coaching. Listen up and enjoy the segment.
What's your posture like and your breathing like when you're in front of your computer trading? I know for most people, they're sitting down. They're not moving very much. They're looking slightly downward. Their head's down. Their shoulders, especially if you've been sitting for a while, are probably rounded. This is the body posture of a depressed and stressed person. No wonder you feel stressed when you're trading. If you want to get out of feeling stressed, take on the posture of someone or take on the posture of that emotion that is going to be most beneficial for you as a trader. And for most people, especially if you're stressed, you're going to want to bleed off some energy. You're going to want to stand up, move around, get your chest out, get your breathing going, and talk excitedly and get that smile on your face, because the expression on your face makes a difference as well, right? So, but that's what you want to do. Now, if we look at your thoughts, realize that at any given moment, you make two very important choices. Now, these choices may be conscious, or these choices may be unconscious or habitual, but you're always making these choices. And those choices are, what are you going to focus on? And what is the meaning of whatever it is that you're focusing on? So for example, if I choose to focus, if I'm a trader, right, and I choose to focus on trade results and I lose, and I choose to make that loss mean that I'm a failure, then that's going to create thoughts that lead to certain negative emotions. Since emotions dictate your actions and actions ultimately lead to your results, those negative emotions are not going to serve you well in this trade or your future trading. However, if I focus on following my trading process and improving it, and I lose, and I choose to make that loss mean that losses are a normal part of trading and that all successful traders lose trades, and that I did a good job, then that's going to lead to very different emotions, which are going to lead to different actions in the future and different types of future results. Realize that one shift in meaning can switch your emotions, and your emotions are your life. These are two quotes from Tony Robbins. That was the first one. The second one is, you are the source of all your emotions. You are the one who creates them. Therefore, plant resourceful emotions daily and watch your whole life grow with vitality that you've never dreamed of before. Realize that emotions do not happen to you. One of the flaws in language, so NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, focuses heavily on the language that people use, because the language that people use are the way people represent things in their heads. And a lot of people, when they talk about an emotion, they call it an emotion. And they, in other words, they use it in a sentence as a noun. They say things such as, I'm depressed, I'm stressed. The reality is, emotions are not something that happen to you. There's something you do, something you create. And having a feeling or an emotion is a process that you've developed, or a process that you do. In other words, your stressed is a verb. You're doing the process of stress. You're doing the process of depression. You're doing the process of happiness. You're doing the process of confidence. Okay, remember that. This is extremely important. And I get arguments from this, but if you have that, talk to me one-on-one, and I will show you 100,000 different examples where emotions are verbs. They're things that you do. Emotions don't happen to you. They're determined by your thoughts, and your thoughts are a choice. They may come up, you may have habitual thoughts that come up unconsciously, but whether or not you pay attention to that thought or what you make that thought mean is choice. Therefore, you do not have emotions, you create emotions. Quotes from Richard Bandler. You know what? Certain people think they will feel good if certain things happen, right? So in other words, They'll feel good if they make money. They'll feel good if they want to trade. They'll feel good if whatever. But the trick is you have to feel good for no reason. And he uses the words have to very purposefully when he talks. Everything he says is very purposefully said. And you have to be able to feel good for no reason. This is what's going to make your life wonderful. And again, you have to be able to have confidence for no reason. Now, if you can't enjoy what you have, you can't enjoy more of it. This is another fallacy that people have. They believe that, if they get $1 million, they're going to be happy. And they may be happy from the excitement at the moment, but I can guarantee you 2 weeks later, their life returns to the way it was before, and they still have the same emotions they did before. Matter of fact, they're worse because now, again, money is an amplifier. It doesn't change things, it just amplifies things. So 2 great quotes from him. So I have a question for you. What has to happen for you to feel confident? What has to happen in your external environment for you to feel confident? And the answer to this question is absolutely nothing. Realize that confidence, as are all emotions, is what we call an inside job.
And that is what I have for you today. If you have any questions or comments or anything else you'd like to see in the next Trading Performance podcast, please list that in the comments and I'll personally answer your questions and comments for you. Also, I'd love to encourage you to come on over to lockeinyoursuccess.com. That's LOCKE in yoursuccess.com and check out our Trading Performance and Pro memberships, where you can find the tools you need to become a much more effective trader, regardless of the type of trading you do. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on the next Trading Performance podcast.